Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Here's our next session with Seela. We're doing a bit of a review, and then we'll move on if we feel that we have her confidence and that she won't spook. Now, Aaron is going to stand at her head. She knows Aaron, but he hasn't experienced her spooking and running away as Scott did last week. So we're just giving him a heads up. She can be pretty strong. We've got the yoke, the surcingle on with the chain, so that you see the yoke tilts a little bit, but it doesn't fall completely to the side. We've got the single tree here hooked up with the chains, and right behind it, the log that we want her to eventually pull. And there's a quick release in front of the log, yeah, and we will connect it to the single tree if things are going well. Otherwise, next time, we're gonna walk up to her sides and hope that she won't spook. And Aaron, you are gonna have to stand up at that, because if you're kneeling down like that, she can knock you over right quick. Angela and I are gonna try to hook up the chains without spooking her. And then one of us, probably Angela, will walk to the single tree and pick it up. And then we'll walk forward with Seela, asking her to step up. And if she's stepping up nicely, Angela's going to pull back a little bit. So in fact, Seela will feel a pull. And Angela, try a zigzag pull too. Just let her know that it's not always an even pull, an even pressure on both sides. So leaving the camera on, because we only have 3 of us today. And I will try to speak loud if I have anything to say, because we don't have our mics on. We're gonna now try to pick up the chains, Angela the left one, me the right one, walk up to Seela, talking to her constantly, making nice. Aaron's gonna make nice and distract her, make her realize this isn't a spooky thing, but if she does think it's spooky, we're gonna have to deal with it. Here we go. It's all right, Seela. Good girl, Seela. Now here's where she sees us, so Aaron's gonna have to be quite aware. Maybe even hold her collar. It's all right, Seela. And we go through a chain here, a ring here, through a ring, on the surcingle. And she hears, whoops, you touched her. Yeah, you touched her with the single tree. She didn't expect that. Good girl, Seela. Okay, let's move back. Aaron, try to put her back in position. This time we'll try not to touch her. Of course, she should be able to handle the touch. Let me put this down for a minute. But, you know, it takes desensitization, sacking out, confidence. And in the background, I hear Susie and Rusty mooing. They get kind of concerned. Angela, can you straighten out her yoke? That cinch is pretty loose. We're hoping she'll grow into it. Okay, Aaron, try to straighten her out. We'll bring the single tree back up to her. See, now she's pooping, but at least it's not diarrhea. She's pooping because she's nervous. If they get really nervous and get diarrhea, it's called scours, and it can happen just from stress. Aaron, you want to walk forward a couple steps to get her hips straight away on the sanded path, and then whoa. By the way, she did do fine on step up last time, and then we asked her to whoa and she spooked. We didn't expect that. So we're just taking this one small, tiny baby step at a time. Let's try again, Angela, and this time let's not let that single tree touch her. Not at this point in her training. It's all right. Now she might be afraid. Yeah, she's afraid because it touched her. She wasn't sure what was touching her. Let's go behind her. It's all right.
It's not gonna let you.
Yeah. You see, we're going to have to take a step back now. Look at that. Look at that. Now, try to walk her back here. You know what? That was a no-no spot. Well, what's a no-no spot? Clinton Anderson works with horses all the time, and he's working with a thoroughbred who has places on its body that he doesn't want to be touched. And Clinton Anderson shows us and tells us, if you find a no-no spot, you keep working with that spot. Make sure you have somebody strong to hold the animal, and keep working until they keep their feet still and stop saying no, no. So that's what we have to do here. Okay, then let's do this. Let's walk behind her. And Aaron, you just walk up a little bit more to the center so that we stay in the camera. Okay, let's keep it down. Keep the single tree down. No way, she says, no, no. She's saying, no, no. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. It's all right. You know, we can put it down. Good girl, Seela. We're going to walk up. It's all right. It's all right. Making a little noise on the ground. Through the loop. She's getting nervous, says Aaron. You start watching for the body language. Down under the other chains to the hook. To the hook of the yoke. We like the hook because you can easily remove the carabiner from the hook. Now let's just let it sit here for a minute. It's all right. It's all right. I'm walking away. The chain is down there on the ground by her back feet, and it could get hung up in her back feet. So we have to be ready to remove it quickly. It's all right. Now I like her body language. It's all right, Seela. Talking to her. Normally, when we're ready to do farming, we'll have her britchin on, and this chain will be up along the side of her body in a ring on the britchin, or a dog collar attached to the britchin. So we don't have to worry about her stepping over the chain, which can really be spooky. Angela, let's take it off very quietly. So first we're going to take it off the hook of the yoke. Trying to do things symmetrically. Slide it back through the ring on the surcingle, and it's a welded chain so it doesn't get hung up. Let's just leave the single tree where it is, put the chain down. All right, that's okay, Seela. That's okay. And you know, tiny baby steps, one after the other, usually get you where you want to go. So we always look for our moment of resolution, and look how nice she's standing. Look at her body language. Aaron Ralston on the ride, he says after 300 dumps from his colts that he starts, he gets to understand body language when they're telling him with their body that they're about to dump them. He said, so then I can start getting ready to stay in the saddle and get them focused on what I really want from them and get them confident in me. So, okay, we're not in the saddle today. We're on the ground. There's three of us. Seela is acting much better than she was at the beginning of the session, so we're calling this our moment of resolution, and we'll proceed one step at a time towards the ultimate goal of pulling something like a log, or, we've shown you in prior shows, our stone boat that might have something like a log on it. Seela can certainly handle the weight. It's just, can she focus and give us the right answer and not be afraid to do the work? Well, here's our next session with Seela. It's the session we call no-no desensitization, no-no spot desensitization. First thing we did was we made the cinch a little bit tighter. Show how Sierra, can you just walk up to her without scaring her? She's chewing her cud, so she's okay. And then just kind of move the cinch it's pretty tight. Not as tight as a saddle cinch, but much snugger than our prior lessons. And the reason that we're being careful to do this now and then henceforth is we think that if the surcingle and the cinch stay where they are, and we connect the yoke where we've been connecting it, it will more likely stand straight up on our neck the way it's supposed to be. We've got a bunch of chains, and we leave them hanging there to use next time. We're not going to do it today, though. We're just going to use this surcingle, the cotton cinch, and we used the bottom of a surcingle that I wasn't using for anything else as a nice, cozy, comfortable breast collar, so that even if the cinch moves a little bit, there's no way the surcingle can move under Susie's belly. That can be scary for a horse and for a cow. Okay, now we're gonna do a no-no lesson. Clinton Anderson, in natural horsemanship training, coined this term. I've not heard anybody else doing it, using it. He says that if a horse or a cow says, no, no, don't touch me there, that's what you have to concentrate on in your training, first and foremost. And he says it's extremely important to approach retreat, rhythmic pressure, whatever it takes to touch them there, but not let them get away until they stand still, and then remove the pressure of the no-no place. Soon the no-no place is no longer a no-no spot. Now we're doing this because in our last session, we accidentally, as we were trying to work with these chains along the sides of Seela's body, we accidentally tilted this piece of PVC, which is our single tree, and it touched her right here on the hip. And she said, no, no. And the way she said it is she darted away. And luckily we had somebody strong at the lead line. We don't want her to get away if she reacts to a no-no spot. We want her to realize that she won't get away until she stands still or walks or shows no stress. In other words, we'll remove the pressure when we get the right answer, and in that case the right answer was stand still. Okay, now I'm going to ask Sierra to hold this, and I'm going to show you what I mean about the sensitivity of these zebus. Touch her on the ribs, and I'm going to zoom in here and try to show the viewer what happens. Oh, she's being good. Go up a little bit. Even higher. She's being excellent. Now go on her back. Let's see if we can show the no-no reaction. There. Okay, keep doing that. Okay, she has a lot of little constricting muscles and nerves and so forth up there. We think, and it's logical, that it's because that is where this prey animal would be most likely attacked by a predator, on the back. So it's very, very sensitive. Can you move to the other side now? Pick up your white PVC of your right hand. Pick it up. Now carefully move to the other side. You see Seela is chewing her cud. She's not showing any stress at all. And go right to the hip area and touch her with the PVC. It's almost like we've desensitized her, because before we turned the camera on, I was showing Sierra that nervous muscle twitching reaction that we tend to get, and now she's not doing it. So I'm gonna pull the camera back ever so slightly. I'm gonna walk up there with the single tree, which is on the ground here, ready to go. And Sierra, you can very carefully put that arm extension down next to you. Now when you put something down and you've got a livestock on a lead, I've learned this the hard way, don't pull on the lead inadvertently. then they misunderstand and they can get spooked or give you the wrong answer. Okay, now, this is what I did with my other helper, Angela, the other day, where we accidentally revealed a no-no spot. I went like this and I said, Angela was in the back with me here and she was holding this up and then let it tilt. Okay, so we're going to do something similar. You're going to hold that chain, go all the way to the end. It's just, oh, I see. Okay, okay, okay. She's getting a little bit nervous. Okay, now you might need your full strength in that right arm. Okay, now I'm not even sure we're in the camera again. So, yeah, can you come up forward? Say step up.
Step up.
Do a serpentine. Step up. Step up. There you go. Okay. All right, I think that's good. Okay, let's stop. She had that frozen feet syndrome, and a real good way to get out of that is to serpentine. A right, left, kind of snake movement until we get the forward motion. Okay, now I'm going to put this down behind her. And before I do, though, before we do anything more, I'm going to touch her with it like Angela accidentally did. Be careful, she might bolt. It's all right. It's all right. It's a no-no spot. It's all right. She's being really good. It's a no-no spot. Very good. Seela, she's watching me out of the sides of her eye. Now I'm going to put this down. Trying to stay out of her strike zone because she can kick. She's not inclined to, but she can. Good. I love it. Touching her no-no spot up here, and she is twitching her muscles, but not bolting, not showing stress. Now, the thing that we don't want to do with cows or horses or oxen or anything is hook something up until we're pretty sure that there's not going to be a bolting, a stressful response, because it's horrible if the animal gets away from you and what's behind them is attached to them, because then they think they're being attacked by this thing. Even if it's just an inanimate piece of PVC, it can be very, very horrible. It can be one of those wrecks. And so we're being very careful with our horses and our cows as we train them to pull. Now, here's a commitment. I'm putting it through a ring. And it's making a noise. But this is a welded chain. She's a little bit concerned. Good girl. Now, if her collar were on, we would hook it to the front hook of the collar. And we've shown you that in the past, but we're not using the collar today. We're just going to let this dangle. And it fell through, so I'm going to pull it up a little bit more. You know, I don't want to attach it. I'm going to maybe just store it right there so it doesn't fall out. Now this single tree is almost touching her back leg, which could be a wreck in the making. So I'm going to pull it back a little bit. That's all right, Seela. Pull it back about a foot. For horses, it's more like 2 or 3 feet. We don't want that single tree to touch them. I'm going to go through the ring, the comparable ring on this side. And then I'm going to store it here on a buckle that's just hanging in our makeshift breast collar. And if I were to want to go to the next step and the yoke were on, I will have hooked up on this side. I will hook up on this side, and then I would go back very, very carefully, slowly, talking to her the entire time, and lift up the single tree and have the person who's handling the lead line and the halter walk forward while she has that feel of something behind her that she's pulling. And at first it will be me. After that it will be a log. We have a training log. After that, our stone boat. We're just doing this tiny baby steps at a time, and tack fitting, while we do it, every step of the way has to be very, very carefully done. And that's why today we made sure that the cinch of this nylon surcingle was shorter. I'm removing it quietly. It's all right. She's just watching me, showing no signs of stress. I yet have to remove this chain from this ring. Putting it down quietly. And I would say you can step up and G through the gate and take her back to her mom and dad, who, by the way, they very often come here. They very often come right here, especially if they hear Seela is stressed, and watch and moo. Today, it's a quiet, sunny winter day. Seela didn't show any obvious signs of stress. She didn't make any noises. Now you're going to want to take that surcingle off after you close the gate. Sometimes we take the tack off when we get them into their corral. Sometimes we take the tack off here. You don't have to chain it, but at least latch it, because Rusty and Susie could show up at any minute. And let's see if you can take that tack off without incident. Oh, no problem. Yeah, she was just fine. Okay, now you can take her halter off. That's just a horse halter that we made smaller to fit Seela's nose. We just put a through bolt. And this is the first time Sierra haltered her. Did you have any trouble haltering her? No.
Not at all.
There used to be trouble, so we've gotten past that concern. And we'll show you every step of the way as we continue to train young heifer Seela to pull. Next session, we have put all the tack on. And Seela's a little bit sensitive. I hope my cameraman can follow me. I'm moving with her because I want the chains in the single tree to stay behind her. I've got my little arm extension here. Now remember, when we ask for a whoa, she might spook. I think if we ask for a couple steps forward, she'll be okay. It's just when we ask her to whoa. And it will be important for me to stand behind her. Can you straighten up that collar? We've got many chains on the collar. Still, it tends to tilt a little bit. Step up a couple steps. I'm pulling back. Step up. Okay, whoa. 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 Aaron. Whoa.
It's okay, Seela.
Yeah, we need strength because we don't have the proper strength. Whoa, Aaron. What we're going to do is we're going to have, yeah, I'm going back to behind her. Aaron's going to hold the lead line and the collar. I'm going to have Sierra hold this single tree because I'm not real nifty on my feet. And you try your hardest to stay behind her. Hold it like this, I think. We like to show you the problems we have and what we do to get past them. It was important not to let her go. I didn't know if she would get spooked, but she did. All right, now, see if you can try it again. You're going to ask her to step up with authority, and Erin's going to be ready for her concern. Maybe the lead line a little closer to her halter. You stay behind her. Good. Good, you stopped her. And that's what we need to do. We need to show her what the right answer is, which is 4 feet. 4 feet in concrete. What I'm going to do, I can see by that desensitivity problem that we still have to deal with, that pulling that log is premature. Now I'm going to pull it away, leaving the camera on Seela. It's all right, Seela. It's all right. It's all right, sweetheart. remember, if we did put it on, we'd have a quick release on it to try to quickly release it if she did spook. This is our quick release. Putting the log here, making some noise. All of this is training. Now, if we can finish this session with just some 3 steps up and stop, if all goes well, another 3 steps up and stop. You see, she's pooping because she's stressed. With repetition, we'll get it so that she has confidence in us, and we have confidence in her, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys to ask for it, but you coordinate with each other. It's almost like team roping. The header nods his head, the heeler comes out when the cow comes out. Okay, Aaron's going to nod his head. Sierra's going to ask for it.
Woo. Good girl.
Good girl, Seela. That's it. Yes, and she's licking her lips, so to speak, which is what horses do when they're not stressed, when they're saying, oh, I think I gave you the right answer. So, I'm not greedy. If I can get one more 3 steps up and a whoa, with Seela going straight, with Sierra staying behind her, with Aaron being able to control her, and with all of us giving her praise, we're going to call this session over. Okay, so Aaron's going to nod, Sierra's going to ask for it with loud voice.
Up, up. Woo.
Not quite what I wanted. Let's have Aaron nod his head up and down, and Sierra, you ask for it. It's the person behind, eventually, that's going to be asking for the forward motion. We hope we don't always have to have a lead line. Aaron nods when he's ready.
Step up.
She's peeing. Okay, I'm going to leave the camera on and go up with my arm extension and ask for it with a little bit of rhythmic motion. Just a tap. You ask for it again?
Step up.
Step up. Step up. Can you see, Aaron and Sierra, that if you hadn't had control of the head and the chains, we would have possibly had another almost runaway like we did when we started this session. So we're not going to go on and try to pull anything more until we're sure that Seela is not afraid. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.